Hi folks, welcome to the channel. My name's Joe. In this tone chasing series, I like to show you the steps that I took to get a specific tone of an artist or a genre of music. In this case here, we're going to take on Bo Diddley. I'll share with you my step-by-step approach in hopes that you can use that if you're going to do your own tone chasing. Let's go ahead and jump into the computer and I'll break down this guitar tone. Okay folks, here we are going after the mighty Bo Diddley tone. So this was really a lot of fun, I have to tell you. I just recently did an Inspired By video based on the Bo Diddley beat, and I'll put one of those cards up there if you want to hear this tone in context to that. I have to tell you though, how many rhythm patterns do you know that are named after somebody? I can't think of any other than Bo Diddley, to be honest with you. It's just fantastic. So, step one of this process is always the same. Pick a song, a tone, a guitar tone that you can hear in the song that you want to kind of go after. In this case here, my tone was inspired by the classic Bo Diddley song called Bo Diddley. And what really I was intrigued by was his use of tremolo. So let's take a listen to this source. We can really hear that thing is cutting through as far as the intensity. He's really got that cranked up. Overall, my ears, they hear a little bit of, a clean amp, basically on the edge of breakup. That's kind of what I'm hearing. And that's really it. It's kind of a simple sound. So digging into this a little further, step two is always the same as well. Let's do a little research. Let's go on the mighty Google here and do some research. Well, in looking at pictures, we can clearly see the guitar he was using is a Gretsch guitar. And it's a hollow body, semi-hollow body maybe guitar, is my guess. Again, looking at this picture here, I don't see any holes in this, but I'm going to assume that it's more of a hollow body guitar. And it's also fascinating, as you probably already do know, but he made his own guitars. This man was just incredible, and inspirational artist. So he basically made his own guitars, but you can clearly see he's using Gretsch necks, at least on this one. So he really liked the Gretsch necks, and I can tell he liked like the Filtertron pickups, the humbuckers that the Gretsches have in them. So that's kind of our basic sound. So I don't have a Gretsch guitar. So I went with my Ibanez, which is a semi-hollow body, like 335 style guitar with humbuckers. So that's kind of what I use for that. Now, as far as amps go, I really was hard-pressed to find any information on the kind of amps that he used. I did come across this forum that talked a little bit about how apparently this person, if it's true, actually worked at a theater where Bo Diddley was, and he was playing through a Fender Twin. So my guess is probably that, right? Back then, it probably was a nice, clean tube amp. And we're going to go with a Fender for this style here. And then, digging a little bit deeper, we saw in this article, this article right here, that he was doing demos at Chess Studios, and he did actually record for Chess Records. So in learning about that and understanding that, I came across this article that's talking a little bit about the Bo Diddley sound. Again, talked here about having a nice little clean tube amp. Excuse me. And the Gretsch guitar, we already have that covered. But here was what started to come, into focus, which was a little interesting. So at Chess Records, apparently they loved Reverb. The person, I believe, that was the president of Chess, or was at Chess, he just loved the Reverb and was enamored with the whole Reverb sound. And I found actually a whole article on this that they built basically this whole echo chamber just for the use of the recordings. And apparently the rumor is that during a part in Chuck Berry's career, he actually hung out in here in the chamber. Made it his bedroom, essentially. Well, that would be kind of interesting to have that as your bedroom, I'd imagine. So we have a little bit of some information here about that. And now the tremolo, where did that come from? Where did that stem from? I don't believe it's from the amp itself. It could be, but a lot of people are talking about this pedal here. One of the first I guess, tremolo pedals. And so this is basically what we have now, the foundation. We have a hollow kind of style guitar, hollow body style guitar. We have a clean amp, kind of potentially on the edge of breakup. We know we're going to drench this thing with some nice chamber reverb. And we also going to add a nice tremolo on this. So that's where we're starting from. So step 3 then generally is, pick your environment. What are you going to recreate this tone in? And then see if you have the pieces that are available to you that you found in your discovery period here. So my weapon of choice is the Line 6 Stomp. This is not a sponsored video. I just want to state that because I know there's things on YouTube that go around. This is my own gear that I've purchased. But I'm a fan of the Line 6 Stomp because of this. It has so much flexibility that you can experiment and use different models for things. And hey, if you like them enough, why don't you go out and get the real gear? Because sometimes nothing really beats a real tube amp. But if this gets us close, gets us in the ballpark, it's a lot of fun just to experiment and play with all these things. I wouldn't have the luxury to afford all these different types of amps and pedals and all that stuff that the Line 6 Stomp affords me. So anyway, great piece of gear in my opinion. Okay, I'm back here and I have my guitar, again, the hollow body type of thing. And I used a capo. Bo Diddley was famous for using a capo and no pick, kind of using his fingers to play. That was a really ugly chord. Using his fingers to play. And that's what we're going to go for, again, to help recreate, hopefully, this tone. Again, I don't have Bo Diddley hands. Actually, I don't think I said that yet, but I don't have Bo Diddley hands. So we're going to just get as close as we can. And again, I was really going for more of inspired by with this. But okay, moving on. We have a clean amp. If I really dig in, I can get the breakup. But other than that, it's kind of a clean. So we have that kind of clean. I don't really think I'm really in tune with this capo. That's another thing, folks. If you use a capo, make sure that you kind of retune your guitar because the pressure of the capo on the strings will kind of pull things generally sharp on the guitar. Okay, enough of that. So we have the clean amp going on, and of course, right away we have to go ahead and add that nice tremolo. So now I really have. So we really can hear that really chopping up the sound, which is lovely. And then for that kind of more of the traditional Bo Diddley line where you really hear it. So that's nice. And I went ahead and kind of used just a normal spring reverb as if, the amp had its own reverb setting. I don't know back then if the amp really did have its own reverb setting, but I went ahead and did that. It's just a simple little spring reverb. Just a little. And let me just turn the tremolo off so you can hear the reverb a little clearer. So again, just a little bit of a tail there. Tail or trail, I should say. Okay, so we have that going on. And now the wonderful chamber echo that I put on here, echo chamber. And man, I just cranked it up. I think this is probably the most reverb I've actually ever put on a guitar sound. And it was really a lot of fun. We can really hear it go off down there and trail away. But it really adds. Just adds that nice little trail. And what's nice is it really, I found, sits really well in a mix, how it kind of dissipates the sound. So we have that, and let's add the tremolo in. And I have to tell you, I really think that he probably put this much tremolo on because to me, it sounds almost like a harmonica player. If you listen to a harmonica player playing the blues and when they're not soloing and they're kind of playing just rhythmic figures, to me it sounds like It sounds just like, I know it's a terrible harmonica sound, harmonica impression, but it sounds like that to me. I just really hear it. It's as if the tremolo is doing the human breaths between blowing out the notes. It really, to me, adds a very human feel to the sound. And then at the end, all I did was I added in a little EQ just to clean things up a little. And that's really it. That's a very basic sound. Now, I was reading in some other articles that a slapback delay could be used. I didn't add that here, but you know what I'll do is I'm going to put a link to this tone in the description down below if you want to download it and play with it from my website and add that. I can see how, though, maybe a little slapback delay, like a tape delay, would add an extra dimension to this already. But I felt like this sound was just really nice as far as what I needed to do. So that's really kind of it. Very simple, nice little setup. But to me, it's a really lovely sound. And I know it's a kind of a corny term to say, but it really is pleasing to the ear. And like I said, that tremolo adds this human element to it. And when you add like longer notes, or I should say longer duration chords, I mean, it adds this wonderful rhythmic element to these sustained chords that is, to me, just kind of can be used anywhere. This it doesn't have to be used for a traditional like Bo Diddley beat. I really feel like this can add a lot of texture to your own music. Well, that's another tone chasing series down. Hey, if you have an artist or a style of music that you might want me to chase the tone of, please leave it in the comments below. I really welcome your feedback. And while you're down there, do me a favor, maybe help me grow the channel a little bit by subscribing down below and hitting the like button. All these things help me out and I appreciate your support. As always, I wish you a great day.